Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the gripping and emotional storyline unfolding in Port Charles, centered around Gio, Brooklyn Quartermaine, Dante Falconeri, and the deeply hidden family secrets now coming dramatically to light. For a long time, viewers have watched with bated breath as rumors and whispers surrounding Joe's mysterious past slowly began surfacing in the corridors of General Hospital and within the close-knit community of Port Charles. At the heart of this mystery lies a significant secret from Brooklyn Quartermaine's past. As many now know, Brooklyn had once carried a pregnancy to term during her youth, a pregnancy she concealed from everyone, including the baby's father, Dante Falconeri. For years, Brooke kept this secret closely guarded, the pain of her decision constantly haunting her. But what she did not know was that her mother, Lois, had quietly taken it upon herself to remain the sole keeper of an even deeper secret. The child Brooklyn gave away all those years ago was, in fact, the young man known as Gio. Lois had initially decided to keep Joe's true identity hidden out of fierce maternal instinct. Believing she was protecting Brooklyn from emotional turmoil and potential backlash, Lois vowed never to reveal the truth, convinced that silence was the best way to shield her daughter from pain. But, as fate would have it, circumstances arose that forced Lois to reconsider her decision, creating an intense moral dilemma that would soon tear down all barriers, exposing long-hidden truths. The turning point came suddenly, striking like a lightning bolt, when Gio fell critically ill and was rushed into General Hospital. Doctors quickly determined the severity of his condition, devastatingly diagnosing him with leukemia. The tragic news hit everyone hard, but the situation worsened as medical professionals urgently informed that Gio required an immediate bone marrow transplant. Given Joe's background as an orphan with no known biological relatives, finding a compatible donor seemed nearly impossible. The hospital scrambled to find matches through the donor registry but soon realized that without direct relatives, the chances of saving Gio diminished dramatically. This medical crisis pushed Lois into an unbearable position. She found herself caught between maintaining her daughter's privacy and saving her grandson's life. The secret she had sworn to guard so fiercely had suddenly become a life-and-death matter, transforming from protective silence into an unbearable moral burden. Lois agonized over the choice she faced, weighing her love for Brooklyn against her responsibility to Gio, whom she had silently watched grow from afar, knowing all along he was family. Realizing that Joe's life hung precariously by a thread, Lois could no longer justify silence. Her heart broke at the thought of losing the grandson she had secretly cherished. In a moment of profound courage and desperation, Lois decided that protecting Brooklyn could no longer outweigh the necessity of saving Gio. Lois gathered all her strength and finally revealed the truth she had hidden for so long. Gio was not simply an orphan young man, but the biological child Brooklyn had heartbreakingly relinquished in secrecy. When Brooklyn heard Lois's revelation, she was instantly overcome with a whirlwind of emotions: shock, disbelief, joy, and deep remorse all at once. The child she had privately mourned and often dreamed of meeting was now within her grasp, though tragically fighting for his life. Brooklyn immediately stepped forward to help her son, putting aside all personal fears and anxieties to focus solely on Joe's well-being. Without hesitation, Brooklyn volunteered to undergo medical tests, desperately hoping she would be a compatible marrow donor. Fate smiled kindly this time. After anxious days waiting for results, doctors confirmed the wonderful news: Brooklyn was indeed a perfect marrow match for Gio. Relief flooded through everyone involved, especially Brooklyn, who could finally act directly to help her son, something she had been denied for far too many painful years. Brooklyn swiftly underwent the transplant procedure, courageously offering her own marrow to save her child. The operation went smoothly, and all signs pointed toward Joe's successful recovery. For Gio, this ordeal was more than just a medical miracle. It marked the dramatic and emotional reunion with parents he had never imagined existed. Discovering the truth of his parentage was life-changing, filling him with happiness, relief, and newfound hope. For years, Gio had lived believing himself unwanted and alone, but now, finally, he understood the truth. he was deeply loved, even before he ever knew his parents. Reuniting with Brooklyn, seeing her strength, compassion, and unwavering love, provided Gio with the sense of belonging he had long craved. Amid the emotional turmoil, Dante Falconeri also grappled with the astonishing revelation that he had unknowingly fathered a son with Brooklyn years ago. Dante, always a devoted family man, immediately embraced Gio as his own, deeply moved by the unexpected and powerful bond of fatherhood. Joe's recovery and reunion quickly brought Dante and Brooklyn closer than ever before. Seeing the strength Brooklyn exhibited in saving their child, Dante recognized the depth of character and warmth he had once admired so profoundly in her. Friends and family around Port Charles watched with joy and fascination as Dante and Brooklyn's bond deepened. The traumatic experience had not only reunited parent and child, but it also sparked renewed feelings between Dante and Brooklyn. Gio, now at the center of their lives, quietly hoped his parents might find their way back to each other. Through careful words and heartfelt encouragement, Gio gently nudged Dante and Brooklyn toward rekindling the romance that had once blossomed between them. The three of them, brought together by pain, hope, and love, started forming a genuine family unit, a strong foundation upon which to build their shared future. As Lois watched her daughter reconnecting with her long-lost son and potentially rediscovering happiness with Dante, she felt immense relief and pride. Her difficult decision to reveal Joe's identity had caused pain, yes, but ultimately, it led to profound healing. Lois had protected her family through secrecy for many years, but now she understood that true protection sometimes requires the bravery to speak difficult truths. The community at General Hospital celebrated Joe's remarkable recovery. Nurses and doctors alike marveled at the resilience and courage demonstrated by Gio, Brooklyn, and Dante, witnessing firsthand the incredible power of family bonds to heal physical and emotional wounds. Even those who had initially been shocked or judgmental about Brooklyn's hidden past now admired her bravery, compassion, and unwavering dedication to her son. Port Charles, a town accustomed to dramatic twists and family secrets, embraced this incredible reunion wholeheartedly. The Quartermain and Falconeri families drew even closer together, grateful for the second chance fate had granted them. Brooklyn and Dante, now sharing the joyful burden of parenthood, saw clearly the future that lay before them, a future shaped by truth, forgiveness, and love. Their path forward, while certainly not without challenges, promised happiness and unity, making up for years of loss and heartache. And so, as the dust settled around Joe's revelation and miraculous recovery, new possibilities began to flourish. Could Joe's reunion with Brooklyn and Dante rekindle the deep love his parents once shared? Will their rediscovered connection finally lead them back to each other, creating the family Gio had always wished for? The answers to these questions promise to keep fans eagerly tuning into every dramatic episode. Next, we will dive into the captivating drama unfolding in Port Charles during the week of May 5, 2025. With three unmissable moments that promise to keep fans glued to their screens. From reckless teenage decisions to cunning schemes and moral dilemmas, this week's episodes are packed with emotional twists and turns. Let's explore the intricate details of each storyline, delving deeper into the characters' motivations, the fallout of their actions, and the ripple effects on the beloved residents of Port Charles. Teenage turmoil, Rocco and Danny face the fallout. The first gripping moment centers on the young rebels, Rocco Falconeri and Danny Morgan, whose impulsive choices at a recent party lead to serious consequences. Picture this, a lively gathering of Port Charles teens, pulsing with music and laughter, where Rocco and Danny, caught up in the thrill of the moment, decide to experiment with alcohol. The night takes a dark turn when Danny, perhaps overwhelmed by the situation, darts away from the scene, leaving Rocco alone with a drink in hand. Hours pass, and as the party winds down, Danny returns to a harrowing sight: Rocco, unconscious on the ground, a victim of overindulgence. The gravity of the situation is undeniable as Cody Bell stumbles upon the scene, his heart racing with concern for the young Falconeri. Thankfully, spoilers tease that Rocco will pull through without lasting harm, but the incident is far from over.
Both boys are in for a stern reckoning as their families grapple with the aftermath.
Jason Morgan, Danny's father, steps into the role of disciplinarian, delivering a dose of tough love that cuts deep. Jason, no stranger to bending rules in his youth, understands the allure of rebellion, but he's deeply disappointed in Danny for abandoning Rocco in such a vulnerable state. Sources hint that Jason's lecture will focus on loyalty and responsibility, urging Danny to think about the consequences of leaving a friend behind. Meanwhile, whispers around Port Charles suggest that Jason might also arrange for Danny to volunteer at a local community center, hoping hands-on experience with at-risk youth will instill a sense of accountability. On the other side of the equation, Lulu Spencer, Rocco's mother, is hit with a wave of emotion when she learns of her son's dangerous misstep. Lulu has been juggling her own personal battles and career demands, often leaving her feeling disconnected from Rocco's day-to-day life. Hearing about his brush with danger forces her to confront her priorities, sparking a heartfelt moment of reflection. Spoilers indicate that Lulu might reach out to Dante Falconeri, Rocco's father, for support in guiding their son through this turbulent phase. Together, they could devise a plan to tighten family bonds, perhaps organizing weekly family dinners or outings to ensure Rocco feels supported and understood. This incident serves as a wake-up call for Lulu, highlighting the fragility of teenage years and the importance of parental presence. Portia's quest for secrets, a dangerous game with Willow. Shifting gears to a more calculated drama, Portia Robinson finds herself entangled in a web of deception alongside Nina Reeves as they celebrate the apparent success of a secretive plan. The duo, known for their strategic minds, hired Jacinda to execute a scheme aimed at undermining Drew Kane. Their plot seemed foolproof until Drew, ever the quick thinker, outsmarted them by promptly securing a drug test to clear his name. The unexpected move leaves Portia and Nina scrambling to regain control, with Portia taking the lead in a desperate bid for insider information. Determined to uncover Drew's next steps, Portia sets her sights on Willow Tate Corinthos, hoping to extract valuable intel without raising suspicion. Imagine Portia casually inviting Willow for coffee at Kelly's, her tone light and friendly, masking the urgency beneath her questions. She steers the conversation toward Drew, probing for any hints about his conversations or plans. However, Willow, protective of her family and wary of Portia's sudden interest, remains tight-lipped, offering only vague responses. Spoilers suggest that Portia's efforts might backfire spectacularly. She could inadvertently learn that Drew has already confided in Max Scorpio, the ever-reliable police chief, about the orchestrated crime against him. This revelation could send Portia into a panic, realizing that her actions are under scrutiny and that legal consequences might loom on the horizon. Adding a layer of complexity to this storyline, rumors circulate that Willow might sense something off about Portia's persistence, prompting her to discuss the encounter with Michael Corinthos. Together, they could piece together the puzzle, suspecting that Portia's curiosity is tied to a larger conspiracy. This development threatens to fracture trust within the hospital community, as Willow and Michael weigh whether to confront Portia directly or gather more evidence. For Portia, the stakes are higher than ever, as her reputation as a respected doctor hangs in the balance. Will her ambition drive her to take even riskier steps, or will she retreat to salvage what's left of her credibility? Fans will be on the edge of their seats watching this chess game unfold. Jocelyn's moral struggle, guilt and duty collide. Lastly, we turn to Jocelyn Jacks, whose internal conflict over a recent act of espionage takes center stage in a storyline brimming with ethical tension. Jocelyn, caught between her obligations to the WSB and her personal values, made the fateful decision to steal a thumb drive belonging to Emma Scorpio Drake. This wasn't just any piece of tech, it contained Emma's painstaking research, a critical component of her application for a prestigious position. Picture Jocelyn's heart pounding as she slipped the drive from Emma's unattended bag, her mind racing with justifications for her actions. Her mission was clear, but time was not on her side. Before she could replace the drive with a corrupted file, Emma returned, her sharp eyes immediately noticing the missing item. The devastation on Emma's face as she realized months of hard work had vanished is a moment that haunts Jocelyn. Now, Jocelyn wrestles with a heavy burden of guilt. She knows how much the research position means to Emma, whose ambition and drive have been evident to everyone in Port Charles. Yet, Jocelyn also can't ignore that Emma hasn't always been the kindest soul. Her competitive streak often borders on ruthless, leaving a trail of bruised feelings in her wake. Still, Jocelyn's conscience gnaws at her, replaying the moment of betrayal over and over. Spoilers hint that she might confide in a trusted friend, perhaps Trina Robinson, seeking advice on whether to come clean or bury the secret deeper. Trina, known for her moral compass, could urge Jocelyn to make amends, suggesting she anonymously return the drive with an apology note. Complicating matters further, Jocelyn's duties with the WSB demand her focus, leaving little room for personal atonement. The stolen data on the thumb drive is reportedly tied to a larger investigation, one that could have implications for national security, or so her superiors claim. This places Jocelyn in an impossible position: prioritize her mission and risk permanent damage to her friendship with Emma, or sabotage her assignment to ease her guilt. Adding a speculative twist, there's a chance that Emma, with her knack for detective work inherited from her parents, might start piecing together clues about the theft. Could a confrontation be on the horizon? Moreover, the future of this storyline teases an intriguing possibility: Jocelyn and Emma might be forced to collaborate on a project or crisis, requiring them to set aside their differences. Imagine the tension as they sit across from each other, unspoken accusations hanging in the air, yet both compelled to work toward a common goal. This potential alliance could be a turning point, offering Jocelyn a chance to redeem herself, or, conversely, deepening the rift if Emma uncovers the truth. Fans are buzzing with theories about whether this partnership will lead to reconciliation or an explosive fallout. Wrapping up the week's drama. As the week of May 5, 2025, approaches, ABC General Hospital promises a rollercoaster of emotions with these three must-see moments. Rocco and Danny's brush with danger serves as a stark reminder of the challenges of parenthood and the importance of guidance during adolescence. Portia's risky maneuvers highlight the perilous allure of power and the consequences of underestimating one's adversaries. Meanwhile, Jocelyn's moral quandary underscores the complexity of balancing duty and personal integrity, a struggle that resonates with many. Each storyline weaves a thread of suspense and human emotion, drawing viewers into the intricate lives of Port Charles's residents. Whether it's the heartfelt lessons learned by teenagers, the calculated risks taken by cunning schemers, or the internal battles fought by those torn between right and wrong, there's something for every fan to ponder. So, mark your calendars and prepare for a week of unforgettable drama. What are your thoughts on these developments? Will Rocco and Danny emerge wiser from their ordeal? Can Portia salvage her plan, or is her downfall inevitable? And will Jocelyn find a way to make amends with Emma? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and stay tuned to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for all the latest updates from Port Charles.